will not be running today, but I will be doing my what the Lord has led me to do in relations to strength training. I will do, and I guess a bit of running on the spot in the house, but it is snowing a lot, and I guess sometimes when you're God will direct you by by natural means. So I guess at some point I kind of thought I should probably take a break from running. So I guess today is that day. I just wanted to address some things that have been happening in my life. When I was there's a period when I was working with somebody who professed to be a Christian, professed to be of God, and his initial presentation, I knew something was weird because God is not, he's not aggressive, he's not an author of confusion, etc., etc. There's certain scriptures that came to mind when I thought about when this person presented themselves to me. What I later found out, years later, is that this person was governed by a spirit of narcissism, which encompasses a lot of other spirits. And because of that, because of my interaction with this person, I started to encompass some of these traits as well. I didn't allow it to overtake me, but I did realize I needed to get out of the situation. God provided a way. I'm saying this because I want you to know that if you're a Christian and you feel that you are in a situation, if you're a believer, born again believer, and you're in a situation where you feel that you can change somebody, that your presence will allow somebody, your presence or your influence will change a person. It will not. I thought that my presence in this person's life, because they kept on talking about God and quoting scripture, so there was a foundation there, a godly foundation, but this foundation was just based on how they were raised. It wasn't truly like a born again experience, I don't believe. And so I'm saying this to let you know that our God does not sleep, he does not slumber. There's no way that you can change somebody. You can only way you can change somebody is by living by example. That's the only way. And so these spirits, these demons that people house can would love to, it's almost like oh my God, they would love to infest everybody, okay, because the enemy knows that this is the end of the age, and he wants to gather as many souls as possible. So what you're seeing in regards to narcissism, which is a term I never heard when I was growing up, is a product of the enemy knowing his time is almost up. So if you're in a situation with someone who is narcissistic or has narcissistic tendencies, who professes to be kind and the actions present as not kind, just know this person's probably possessed in some kind of way, or is having some kind of battle or some kind of issue to deal with. And it's not your job to fix anybody. It's your job to protect your vessel. Because if you are one of the very few vessels that are left that can actually demonstrate God's love, his patience, his kindness on the earth, you don't want to jeopardize that by putting yourself around someone who doesn't exemplify the same principles, the same moral, the same values. I don't care how much they say they're for God. I don't care how much scriptures they could quote. If their behaviors contradict that, then you need to get out of that situation and get out of it quick. I know someone who is a witch, okay? This person's a witch, and she went into a church and professed that she was of God, and they accepted her. There is absolutely no discernment in the church, or the church is already not of God. And God revealed that to me too. They're not for him. They're a synagogue of Satan, is what the Lord revealed to me. So the idea, first of all, the church is going to look very different. The Lord is tearing down churches. And those people who are in a position like heading a church are going to be exposed for whatever they're doing. Because I guarantee you they're doing something. Because I've been to many churches looking for the truth. And I realized, one, there's no truth there. They're not preaching the whole gospel. 2, they're all about position and money. And 3, the Lord is not pleased. They're going through karma. I've seen some karma, and I know they must be going through more because I removed myself. Because I realized that going into a church, it's not even like like a place where God dwells. It's like a business. So if you go into church and you have a gift of prophecy, if you go into a church and you have a gift to be able to discern things, they don't even acknowledge that. They don't acknowledge true prophecy, prophets. They don't acknowledge true apostles. They appoint people, and they may use their gift, their dark gifts, to do readings on people and pretend that these are prophetic words that they're speaking. They're not. These are demonically led leaders in the church. They let anyone in, because I know this particular person. There's a particular person that went to a church who is not a Christian, and every time I see a posting or something that this person says, I cringe, because I know this person does black magic. This person does black magic. This person does X magic. This person tries to destiny swap, and this person has no love in them at all. And if you're governed by your flesh, it's going to be easy for you to be misled by anybody. So so the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm taking this time to, like, I always profess that I'm kind and I'm not nice. Well, it's apparent that I'm too nice. I am too nice, and kind sometimes, but sometimes I'm not gonna let, and you shouldn't either. I'm not going to let someone derail my destiny and my purpose because they're choosing to live by their flesh. It's easy to live by their flesh because there's so many people that are living by their flesh. It's easy to be just swayed and misled. Very easy. So it's not selfish to isolate yourself. It's not selfish to be discerning about who you let into your space, who you let speak into your ear, what you watch, who you listen to. Our flesh is deceptive. Deceptive. We will let people into our life who will sway us into under false pretense, pretend they're for us and they're not, pretend they love us and they don't, pretend that there's so many different things. I know people who are pretending to be kind, pretending to know stuff about something and someone they don't know anything at all. This is a time of like falsehoods and lying, thievery, sorcery. This is really the end of the age, for real. And the enemy knows its time is up. Like I said, the Bible talks about this. The enemy would know his time is up, and he's ramping up his fight for souls, right? I have people in my life. I'm just gonna say straight, my daughters, who I thought would always be there. The enemy came in, like they're at the age where they have free choice, and the enemy came in and offered them stuff. I can't say for sure what, but I know nothing. Like the Bible talks about the love of money. Is it the love of money is the root of all evil? No, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So not every evil is based on money, but all kinds, all different kinds. And I had a feeling this would happen because I think it first started with my first daughter, and then all my other daughters got positions. The only one I think that might not be in the loop is the one I think was chipped with me. When I went to the hospital to have my second last child, they chipped me, and I believe they chipped that daughter as well. And so that might be why they are targeting her. They're at her work all the time. They watch her. They know when I go to visit her. They know when I leave. They know when she's there. When she's there, her establishment where she works is filled with people who are practicing magic. And so, like I said, it's easy to be influenced and to be swayed by people who are governed by dark spirits if you're hanging with them. It's important to make a choice to be around people who are not influenced by dark spirits, people who they could say all they want. If the fruits aren't there, they're not for God. And it's okay to walk alone until God puts true believers in your path. You know, like I wasn't always in the position to be able to speak on this because I didn't know any better, but I know better now. And so people can change. The thing is, though, it's not, like I said, it's not my job or our job to change people. It's the Lord's. The Lord will lead, and it's people's has free choice. That's the thing with God. He'll give you free choice. The enemy will force your hand, right? You decide to work for him, and he's not gonna. You're not free at all. But for God, our heavenly Father, we have free choice. He'll welcome us. He'll guide us. But every step of the way, we can choose. He'll guide us though, but you'll know when the choices are his and the choices that we make are not. Anyway, I have snow to shovel, and I have a routine to do because I have a goal to meet, and I'm speaking this. I want to tell you, I'm speaking this really with a heaviness in my heart because I'm really feeling saddened by the things I've discovered by the people that are around me, the alliances that were happening behind the scenes that I wasn't aware of, the dishonesty of the people that were around me is disheartening. And just the same way God called me, I wasn't living a perfect life. The Lord can call anybody, and He can choose anyone. But I know the Lord already chose me. I know what my walk is. I know what I'm expecting. I know what I deserve. I know what I will tolerate. And I'm just tweaking my healing journey. I'm just tweaking what it is I need to be, how I need to be presenting myself. Because I think I'm misleading people to believe that I have no sense, and that I don't love myself. So if that perception leads people to behave a certain way, I've decided I'm changing that. I think it's important that people know that not only, I think it's kind of like, I think my behavior in relations to being overly kind and sweet is a setup for people. It leads them down the wrong path. It makes them make decisions that are stupid. And I'm saying that with all with all sincerity. So I think it's my job, if I'm a believer and I'm letting God lead me, to set firm boundaries, to omit people from my life, to leave room for people who are sincerely for Him, and to walk in integrity. I think that's important. I think that there are, like I said, if a person can go into a church, a full-fledged black witch, a spell casting witch, and be welcomed, there obviously no discernment in the church. And if that person's allowed to lead in any kind of shape and form, the whole congregation's a mess, because that means no one's speaking up to it. And people may discern it and are allowing it to happen. And I'm guaranteeing any church that this person's walked into, there is chaos, there's confusion, there's manipulation. This is how pastors fall with their congregation. When they allow people into the church that are not for Him, I don't see a process as to how to sift out people who shouldn't be there. If someone's claiming to be a Christian and they're a witch, how do you decipher that person's a witch? People just let people walk into the building, not knowing their intentions, not knowing what their motivation is, not knowing, what they bring to the table, and they are crafty and shady as anything. They could sleep with everyone's husband in the church or everyone's wife and get away with it. This is what the Lord is revealing to me. So the church as we know it, I will not walk into another building. They don't serve our Heavenly Father. Especially if they're governed by, if they are ones who take offering and they can give you an income tax return, they are most likely a part of like a higher, darker thing. And this includes the Catholic Church. It doesn't mean you going to that church means that you're a part of that. But I know for sure a lot of people who profess, they say, "Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you." They are not of God. A lot of them are not of God. A lot of them are, they profess to know God. They use it as a shield, but you cannot know God and then be practicing black magic. You cannot know God and serve Him and be taking money to be able to target somebody. That's not a thing. That's an oxymoron. You cannot say you know God and be dark-hearted, to be lustful, to be perverse, to be like, as soon as I find that, and I'm not innocent of this. I've let someone kind of like, I've in my walk, I've had people sway me when what I should have done, when I could have done it, and when I was in my right, like when I was strong enough to, is to just say, I have to set these boundaries. Boundaries are so key, they're so important. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna do my physical workout today. With a heavy heart, I will do that because, like I said, this period, this is the Lord again putting me a period of isolation, keeping me, preserving me, protecting me, and this time it's heavy because there's people in my life that are in this house, very house, who are aware of what's happening with me, who help to orchestrate what has happened to me, who are trying to push me in a direction that I should not be going, and that means they don't care about me. And I have to go to the Bible and just be uh, comforting in knowing that this is not abnormal, biblically speaking, that in the Bible, a lot of people were in families that betrayed them. They had friendships that ended with betrayal. They had people who were in positions of authority that betrayed the people that were under them and vice versa. So this is not abnormal, biblically speaking, but it's still painful. So as I acknowledge that, I'm gonna get my stuff on, my winter gear. I'm gonna go shovel snow. That's a bit of a workout, but I know the app I use won't be counting that. And then I'll come and do my workout. I may check in again. All right, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I love you. You're precious to me. I appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I appreciate you. I love you. And the Lord loves you too. He wishes for none to perish, but for all to have everlasting life. That's his wish. And I see that now. And if he's going to use me as a vessel to make that happen for people, then I accept that. I accept that. That's his purpose. That's what he wants. The enemy already knows where he's going, so he's just trying to take as many souls back with him as he can. But the Lord has, at one point, had purified me. He'd made me like I didn't. There's nothing worldly or anything worldly that I wanted or craved for. It's when I started to interact with people again. I had a period of isolation for about 3 years, I think it was, where I didn't interact with people. And then, bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At some point, I ran into this person, and this is where the Lord is testing me. I ran into this person, and the person was talking about where do you need a ride to? And but mind you, where I was going was pretty much across the street. I didn't need a ride there, and I love to walk, so I should have known at that time this is not of God. When you're telling someone I'm good, and the person's insistent, then you should know it's not of God. So when I got into the vehicle, I did get into the vehicle. This is me being, I don't know what it is. I'm just so rebellious sometimes. The person ended up driving past where I was supposed to go, and the person announced that we're going for lunch. This is how I should have known that this person was not for me, like not for God, and therefore not for me. So anyway, yeah. I'm gonna just say this one thing too. This person was never a partner to me. Doesn't matter what transpired between the two of us. This person professed that we were a partnership, we were in a relationship. That was never the case. I gave this person an opportunity to prove himself to me, and the more that they tried to prove himself to me, the worse they got. I'm going to say that for if this person decides he wants to watch the channel. This is true. Anyway, I'm going to go get my stuff on and shovel because I could use the exercise. I need to stretch somehow. All right. Thank you again. And until maybe later. Since it looks like a snow day, I may come on later. Okay, guys. Love you. Until next time. Be blessed. You are made marvelously.